Good evening from my kitchen table. It is the night before the full moon, and here comes Luna for our little love fest under the table. And thanks to two amazing members of this community, we are going to change this series from shamanologues to shamanigans, which is much more fitting for me anyway, because it's nice and silly and playful. And there's so much seriousness in the world right now. We could use a little bit more playfulness. So, welcome to this February 1 Sunday shenanigans. I'm recording it the evening before. There's a beautiful full moon outside. And tonight I'm going to talk about living in love no matter what is happening in the world around us. So I hear this a lot, and I heard it today from a lovely woman I had lunch with about wanting to do something that's helpful and useful in the world when everything's in chaos and your dog is bothering you and you just don't know what to do. You don't know how you can affect change in the greater world. And it feels so dire and also helpless inducing because the problems out there in the great out there appear to be so much bigger than what any one person can do to manage, to address, to ameliorate, to mitigate. And the thing that you can do, that each one of us can do, is manage our energy systems, focus our thoughts, and work on our nervous systems, because it is so dysregulating to get involved emotionally and intellectually and energetically with the great out there. Extremely dysregulating. And it's really, really hard on us. And there really isn't anything that you can do by becoming more and more and more and more informed by what's happening in the larger world. I have said for years and years and years to my clients, there's a very fine line between staying informed and staying intact. And it's really up to each one of us to determine where that line crosses over and to be really loving and nourishing to our nervous systems. Okay, and now for something completely different. Here's Tunes. Hi. Oh my goodness, you're such a beast. Thank you. Can you get down? I'm trying to make a video. Oh my gosh. So how do you do it? What difference can you make? Monitor the energy that you put out into the field, Luna. Put your feet down on the floor. Thank you. And this is great. This is so not professional, Tunes. Come on. Monitor the energy that you put out into the world. Luna's really good at helping me do that, obviously, to get into a lighter space. And so the thing that you can do is to really work on your nervous system and to really get into a heart space. And now she's going to toss things around. Maybe you probably can't hear that though. Get into a heart space. This is where HeartMath comes in. This is where intentionality comes in. This is where deep presence comes in. And when we're triggered, it's really hard to access the space. It takes a lot of intentionality and it takes a lot of support. So again, if you are feeling triggered and activated with everything that you are seeing and hearing in the great out there, might want to pull back a little bit and really start to focus on the great in here and to come back to this. And we have this beautiful, gorgeous full moon coming tomorrow in Leo. Leo is all about the heart. So how do we move through the world in a world that feels so chaotic in this heart space? How do we return to the heart? How do we open to the frequency of love and compassion again and again and again? My clients know this. I've talked a lot about how we have to build the capacity, our nervous system capacity, to hold love, to hold the higher frequencies of that can feel blissful. But even just to hold compassion, we need to work on it, especially when, in my opinion, there is an onslaught of let's say, forces who want us to be anything but in that place of love and compassion. We are in the largest campaign of division and separation that just reinforces our smallness and our powerlessness. And we are not small and we are not powerless, but we are when we're dysregulated. And yes, trauma is real. And yes, trauma responses are real. And some people are really struggling with this. And let's do some work. Get into therapy. Let's do some energy healing. There's so many ways to manage and work with, and again, mitigate and lessen the intensity of the traumatic responses that are hardwired into your body. It's almost like it's all part of this way to keep us from remembering the truth of who we are. And while I don't ever want anyone to do any kind of spiritual bypassing and to say, oh, I'm just going to love and light my way out of my trauma, that's not real. It's not real at all. And that's not the way to go. The way to go is to become curious, to build the nervous system capacity to be with whatever is coming up for you, whatever is arising for you, and to give yourself a lot of compassion and a lot of care and to seek support that you need. I'm a huge proponent of really creating the space for you to be in the deeper questions of, is this really me? Is this a response that I'm having in this moment? Is that my response? Is this a conditioned response? Is this a traumatic response? And is it real and is it true? And is there a way that I can change this response? And who would I be without this response? Some of the work of Joe Dispenza is about really naming and owning and honoring that we become addicted to habitual states of being and habitual thinking. And just because that was perhaps true for you last year, yesterday, 10 years ago, is it still true for you? And does it have to be? Or is this actually becoming a habitual conditioned response? And we live in a culture that increasingly right now, many people are identifying with these responses as themselves, as who they are. And who you are is not a conditioned trauma response. It is you are a vibrant being full of love and source energy and high frequency. And whatever is happening in this matrixy world of ours seems by design, especially right now, to do anything in its power so that we forget that we are love and that we are powerful and that we came here to experience bliss, not torture. We did not come here to be tortured. If that were true that we came here to be tortured, don't you think we would be really comfortable being tortured? I think that we probably would be. So right now in these times that feel so chaotic and you want to do something and you want to make a difference, the biggest difference you can make is to mind the energy that you put out into the field. Right? Every morning, I say a prayer and I say, Divine Beloved, thank you for the gift of today. I don't always believe it that I'm thankful for the gift of today, but I say it anyway. Thank you for the gift of today. How can I be a conduit for your love? Show me. Let your love come through me. And the next thing I know, I'm moving through the world in love. I'm also a huge fan of Tosha Silver's Change Me prayers. Change me into someone who can hold the frequency of love. Change me into someone who can hold the frequency of compassion. Change me into someone who can hold unconditional positive regard for the other. I definitely want to get into unconditional positive regard at another time. I also, if you know me and you've worked with me, HeartMath practices are the way to go to get into the frequency of love and compassion and neutrality and expanding your nervous system capacity so that you can hold more of everything. You can hold the light and the dark, the good and the bad. We don't like to use those words because everything just is. Nothing is good or bad. But HeartMath can help us to really be in a very expanded state. And it's very easy and very accessible, and anybody can do it. And so to that end, I'm going to be teaching a class, a free class. Come one, come all, share this with your community. And it's going to be an intro to HeartMath. And I'm intending to do a paid HeartMath series later in the late winter, spring time, early spring. This is just a free class. You're going to get tips and tricks, and then you're going to decide if you want to go deeper with me. Either way, it's going to be a value add, I promise. So happy full moon, Leo invitation, get into your heart. And the easiest way, hand on your heart and breathe into your heart. And I'm going to go into much greater detail about the science behind HeartMath, as well as some tools you can use when we meet on that Saturday, February 21. All right, go on. And Luna and I are going to go howl at the moon. And you'll be seeing this tomorrow. You can howl at the moon on Sunday. All right. Many blessings to everyone.